Good evening, glad you could join us tonight. In the next hour and a half, we will give you updates on developing stories and special reports on key issues confronting our nation. On the political scene, Governor Fintiri speaks on victory as INEC presents certificates of return to the victors of the supplementary elections. Federal Executive Council approves funds for 11 federal roads across the country. On transportation, the motive to get the locomotive back on track and the sharp turns on the way. In oil and gas, we take a closer look at Nigeria's vast potentials in the sector as more states discover oil deposits. There is, however, the environmental consideration as well. Also in this package, in-depth reports on the agricultural sector, the economy, security, and the housing and population census, the when and what ifs. Let's run this shift together. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umar Buba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. We begin by telling you that President Buhari is back in Abuja after an 8-day official visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. State House correspondent Adam Sampo reports that the president was received on arrival at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of Finance and Administration, Damala Mohammed. Also at the airport were Director General, Department of State Services, Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. While in Saudi Arabia, President Buhari performed Lesser Hajj at the Grand Kaaba in Mecca and also visited some holy sites in Medina. The president used the opportunity to thank Allah for his enormous blessings, guidance, and protection as he rounds off his 8-year tenure. President Buhari, who was accompanied by some traditional rulers, religious leaders, and some members of the First Family, also prayed fervently for sustainable peace, unity, and prosperity of the country. Prayers were similarly offered for a smooth transition as well as the success of the incoming Bola Tinubu's administration. Meanwhile, President Buhari has taken due notice of judgment by the Federal High Court, Abuja, restoring Senator Ifeanyi Ararume as the non-executive chairman of Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited. In a statement, the president says, while the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice is yet to receive a formal copy of the ruling, he affirms that due judicial process will be followed, and NNPC Limited has already taken steps to go on appeal. The administration respects the rule of law and nothing will be done outside it to resolve the matter. The president says he sues for calm from all sides involved. In another story, the presidency has reacted to articles in some dailies blaming it for the dire security situation in Benue State. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, listed government's efforts to resolve the security quagmire in Benue State to include a number in persons meeting with the governor of Benue State and other community leaders, assuring them of the federal government's commitment to protecting farmers and communities, the establishment and funding of joint security operations, codenamed Operation Wall Stroke, OWS. To date, the OWS team remains in place. A number of OWS security agents have given their lives protecting the people of Benue. The deployment of special security forces to flashpoints in the state, including the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Police Force, Department of State Services, and other security agencies. The deployment of an array of NAT fighter aircraft, Mi-35 helicopter gunships, as well as intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance platforms. The deployment of 10 units of police mobile force, 10 units of police special forces, tactical operation units, and area surveillance teams, police helicopters. The acquisition and deployment of modern military armaments, the provision of timely and actionable intelligence to Governor Autumn, the prompt provision of humanitarian support to victims via the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. The statement indicates that rather than lay blames in Abuja, focus must be on the administration closer to the problem. And away from that now, the 2023 elections have been concluded, including the almighty Adama governorship poll. Mayor Ogidi was at the INEC headquarters Abuja for the presentation of certificates of return to the governor-elect of Adamawa State and National Assembly members-elect for the April 15th supplementary elections.
Again, with a fatigue-looking man, Fintry at the INEC headquarters Abuja, receiving certificates of return, and Deputy Governor-elect Professor Faruta. A moment of joy, but the memories of the election still fresh.
Hudu should be prosecuted, and I believe I'm the right person to prosecute him because he committed the offense in Adamawa, and I'm sure I'm going to prosecute him. Yes. The only thing I will say is I celebrate Nigerians who stood by us.
Fintry finishes his engagement at the INEC headquarters. Time for the National Assembly members-elect. The supplementary election, not a simple task for them, but after receiving the certificates of return, success replaces stress.
The 10th Assembly will be different from the previous ones.
So I believe that we need to work together for the benefit of our people. Here I come, Senate 2023.
I want to believe that INEC is doing quite well, but the fact is that they still have some other things to perfect on.
That pealing laughter was all we heard from the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, before the presentation of the certificates of return to the National Assembly members-elect.
The presentation of certificates of return to members-elect, senators-elect, and that of governors-elect after the April 15, 2023 supplementary elections bring to an end the 2023 general elections. But that is from the electoral management INEC point of view. At the judicial point of view, litigations will go on. Only time will tell how successful some will be and how unsuccessful others will be. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
Well, thank you, Mayor, for that. Now, the federal government is to spend more than 1.5 trillion naira on the construction of 11 federal roads across the country under Phase 2 of the NNPC tax credit scheme. The Federal Executive Council approves proposal to complete ongoing process aimed at updating the nation's labor laws in alignment with international practices. State House correspondent Gigi Onifade reports on this and other decisions taken at the Federal Executive Council meeting this Wednesday. Well, more reports on roads, projects and transportation will come up in the second phase of this bulletin.
Well, so much to do and so much to say. It was a marathon meeting that lasted for almost 6 hours. And after the meeting, 6 ministers, led by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, briefed the press on the various approvals by the Federal Executive Council.
So the balance of that 1.9...
Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, opens the floor on the 4 memoranda he presented to the Council, and which were approved.
Between that January and now, which has now been
among them is the augmentation of an existing contract in the sum of 6.972 billion naira.
The fourth and final one is the approval for the construction and rehabilitation of 11 federal roads, totaling 737.242 kilometers in the sum of 1,535,247,224 naira and 48 kobo.
Other ministers, Rauf Aregbesola, Interior, and Chris Ngige, Labour and Productivity, also speak on the memos that presented to the Council. Minister Chris Ngige speaks on the approval of the Council to commence 6 federal roads, totaling 737.242 kilometers in the sum of 1,535,247,224 naira and 48 kobo. Other ministers, Rauf Aregbesola, Interior, and Chris Ngige, Labour and Productivity, also speak on the memos that presented to the Council. Minister Chris Ngige speaks on the approval of the Council to commence steps towards updating labor laws.
Approved the grant of Nigerian citizenship by naturalization to 317 applicants, and Nigerian citizenship by registration to 68 applicants who have met all the constitutional and administrative requirements for the grant of the Nigerian citizenship. Council approved the full business case for a project on national fire detection and alarm system, incorporating life safety system, networking, monitoring, and dispatching at real time. And this will be in public-private partnership arrangement with OIST Life Safety System Limited.
We did what we call social dialogue and validation meeting, tripartite in nature, with the trade unions, TUC and Nigeria Labour Congress, and the Employers Association, NECA, and the rest of them all. So we agreed that this should be the final product. We sent to council, and that has been approved for us to continue the process so that we can align properly with international conventions and statutes on labor matters.
Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, and his education counterpart, Goodluck Opia, also speak on some of the approvals by the council.
First one, which is the approval for the award of contract for the procurement of one number Cessna Caravan aircraft, AX208B, by the Nigerian Customs, and is in the sum of 3,447,442,710 naira, inclusive of 7.5% VAT.
The Federal Minister of Education presented two executive memos, and the two of them were passed. First is the memo for the award of contract for the construction and furnishing of Senate building 4 suspended floors for the Federal University of Health Sciences, Ilaurogun in Osun State. The second memo was for award of contract for the purchase of 13 number ambulances with inbuilt emergency medical facilities for selected federal unity colleges by the Federal Ministry of Education.
And everywhere I went, I said it very unambiguously that the last general elections in Nigeria are the most transparent, the freest, and the most authentic as ever held.
The meeting was chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in the State House. Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And back to post-election issues. The Independent National Electoral Commission in Kebbi State has issued certificates of return to the Governor-elect Nasir Idris and 10 other State House of Assembly members-elect in Birnin Kebbi. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
With the successful completion of the supplementary election in Kebbi State, the election umpire INEC has issued the certificate of return to Kebbi State Governor-elect Nasir Idris of the All Progressives Congress. The REC in the state, Ahmed Bello Mahmoud, acknowledged the relentless commitment of all stakeholders, describing it as a key to the peaceful conduct of the elections. Receiving the certificate of return, the Governor-elect described his victory as a triumph for democracy and pledged to redouble effort towards developing the entire state.
Kebbi State is being endowed with so many natural resources. We'll do everything humanly possible to ensure that we tap those natural resources for the benefit of our people.
8 winners of the State House of Assembly supplementary election and 2 other pending State Assembly seats also received their certificates of return. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Now, President-elect Bola Tinubu has congratulated the winners of the supplementary governorship elections in Kebbi and Adamawa states last Saturday. In a statement personally issued by him, the President-elect also rejoiced with those elected into the Senate, House of Representatives and State Houses of Assembly during the last round of elections in the respective states. Tinubu pointed out that these victorious men and women have earned the trust of their people and calls on them to rededicate themselves to the service of their respective constituents, expressing his observation that peaceful atmosphere pervaded the supplementary election. The president-elect said it was a further testimony that our citizens have accepted democratic norms and have unalloyed faith in electoral process. He, however, noted the matter of Adamawa supplementary governorship elections and urged police authorities to fully investigate all that transpired in the election, given the attendant controversy. With the conclusion of the 2023 elections, Tinubu enjoined welcome and all who have been elected to brace up to serve the people with diligence and dedication and to join hands with him as your president-elect in the pursuit of his agenda to reveal the hopes of Nigerians in a better, stronger, more secure, economically vibrant and prosperous Nigeria. Let's head to Asaba now. Tenure of the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, NWC, of Labour Party has been extended by 1 year to give room for the party's stability. The National Executive Committee, NEC, in a post-election meeting held in Asaba, Delta State, resolved not to be distracted by those who don't wish the party well. Ifoma Akwafo has that.
In this Orchid Hall, Peter Obi was inaugurated, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Party stalwarts and members of the Labour Party have come to this hall to strategize.
Today you would have noticed that all the 36 state chairmen are in this hall with their secretaries. So there is no faction in the Labour Party.
No amount of distraction will stop the party from pursuing the cause of democracy, the members declared.
We believe that all these interloping that is occurring right now will be swept under the carpet.
We already filed our petition. We filed our petition. We're just waiting for them to be served before we make it public.
Nigerians who voted for me did not vote for me. They invested their hope in me. And it's how thinking that they, as Nigerians, that they will get justice. Because I've said it inside here. I'm committed to a new Nigeria. I'm committed to pulling millions of Nigerians out of poverty.
The meeting later went into a closed session and a communique urging the judiciary to promote democracy, among other decisions, was adopted. Ifoma Okafor, NTA News.
Let's talk oil and gas. That energy is an enabler for human development is not in contention. However, the need for global energy experts to keep playing the role of ensuring the 4 A's of energy security, which are availability, accessibility, affordability, and accessibility for deliberately unlocking energy, require development and delivery infrastructure. Lydia Samson reports that the ongoing Nigeria International Energy Summit is stimulating interactions across the value chains.
For Nigeria to turn around aspirations towards harnessing more sustainable energy resources like natural gas and hydrogen, adopted as a transition fuel and destination energy resource, key players note that the reality can only be acquired through investment, and investment needs finance with supporting rules and regulations. This is because without finance, investment plans will remain as aspirations. This is more so as energy security has re-emerged as a political strategic imperative.
The industry will remain a critical driver of global economic growth, and as long as the world continues to rely on fossil fuels, the demand will remain strong, making the industry a stable and reliable source
is to sustain and increase our aggressive gas development and transmission projects to ensure affordable and clean energy sources, such as from the natural gas and renewables, which also NNPC Limited is involved.
Our long-term and mid-term objective are to increase our crude oil reserve by over 180 billion barrels. We also intend to ramp up production to
2 billion barrels per day.
Though today's financial landscape favors investment in renewables, Executive Chairman African Energy Chamber, NTA, says Africa must drive the narrative of natural gas as a globally defined cleaner fuel that will fast-track transition and mitigate poverty in the continent.
We need to put action to our words. And when we act on that, one, we're protecting our energy security. Two, we're driving up entrepreneurship. We're creating a market for young people, but we're also creating a market for a gas-based economy. And with that, we are not victims.
2 years now since the Nigeria International Petroleum Summit was rebranded an Energy Summit, reflecting a crucial change in its outlook. For experts at the 6th Nigeria International Energy Summit, it is all about harnessing the energy mix towards attaining a sustainable energy future. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
It is an agrarian settlement with large deposit of oil and gas, untapped for decades. Now the area is listed among oil producing communities in Nigeria. That is the story of Ebenyi, a community in Obi, local government area of Nasarawa State, where Aliu Tijani brings us details of the 12-year journey in search of oil in the state.
A long journey in search of oil and gas along the Benue Trough, the hydrocarbon discovered in Nasarawa State, with more than 90% quantity of the product found. Ebenyi in Obi local government area is the choice destination for the drilling of the first oil well in the state.
Our foreparents did not envisage something like this on the ground. And since we were born, we never knew there was something like this. So we express our appreciation and gratitude to Mr. President for giving the general direction for this drilling to take place in our community.
1 week after the inauguration of Ebenyi A oil well by President Muhammadu Buhari, excitement among the people of the area lingers with hopes of economic prosperity.
To help to reduce youth restiveness, employment will be common. Those youth that are not privileged to go to school will be given a kind of work.
Beyond the discovery is the issue of exploration, which NNPC Limited promises speedy process. This, stakeholders believe, can be guaranteed in a peaceful atmosphere, which the community has greater role to play.
I'm happy that the consequent positive outcomes of these drilling campaigns will lead to greater prosperity for our people and especially enhance overall energy security for our country.
I call on our host communities to see this project as your own.
We understand the responsibility that comes with exploring and exploiting natural resources, and we are committed to doing so in a way that best benefits our country and its people.
For Ebenyi community, exploration is a done deal, but like Oliver Twist, the people of Nasarawa State want investors to take advantage of other sites in the state with large crude oil deposit for exploration. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The National Environmental Standards and Regulations Agency has sealed off a pure biotech facility for discharging untreated effluent into water bodies in Benue State. The facility, which produces ethanol using cassava as its raw material, does not have a functional effluent treatment plant, a violation of the provisions of the National Environmental Regulations of 2009. After earlier notices of compliance issued to the company operating the facility, Nasarawa has shut down its operations to halt further damage to the environment, aquatic and human lives. Director General of Nasarawa, Aliu Jauro, says the agency is determined to ensure that non-compliant facilities are made to face the full wrath of the law. We'll take our first break now. When we return, road infrastructure getting more attention in different locations across the country as the rail service hopes to get back on track. Great to have you back. The First Lady of Nigeria and President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission has expressed satisfaction with the steady process of work at the Permanent Secretariat of the mission, which commenced barely a year ago. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports that the First Lady stated this at the site while inspecting the ongoing project of the Permanent Secretariat of the African First Ladies Peace Mission along Airport Road, Abuja. The First Lady, who was accompanied by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, reaffirmed her determination to ensure the commissioning and the handing over of the project to the next administration of the Africa First Ladies Peace Mission. She called on the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Tallen, to expedite action on the release of the sum of 500 million naira donated by the federal government to support the project for its full actualization.
Inspect the Secretariat of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, which was agreed to be constructed in Nigeria. I thank the Almighty Allah for giving me the opportunity to be able to construct the Secretariat of the African First Ladies Peace Mission during my tenure as a First Lady of Nigeria. The construction has reached its completion stage, which will be commissioned soon in a few weeks' time. And I would like to thank the Nigerian government for the intervention. And also we understood that some funds amounting to 500 million naira was received by the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs on behalf of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. We are appealing to her to credit the funds immediately to the Peace Mission account in order for us to have adequate compilation, auditing, and the commissioning and the handing over process.
So it's really a credit to our First Lady that this project has been pushed so fast. We see this mission as an honor for our country. It's a representation of peace in Africa, and it is good that Nigeria is actually showing the lead.
Like the First Lady of Nigeria said, the project, which is at the final stage of completion, is expected to be commissioned soon. In what could be described as a worrisome trend in the country today, another building under construction has collapsed in Ademola Adetokunbo Street in Wuse 2, Abuja. Ekenendulwe reports that the first responders have since evacuated the victims and sealed the site from the public.
The building collapse is indeed one too many. This time, 2 artisans working on the site are believed to have lost their lives, while 4 others who were injured have been taken to the hospital, where they are currently receiving treatment. In what appears to be a shoddy job, the foundation work on the structure weakened the perimeter fence of a neighboring bank, which collapsed on the workers.
Between 10 and 11, we received a distress call that a wall fell on some artisans who were working, and about 6 of them. And so they were trapped. So we have to draft our rescue operations to be here. And they were able to bring out 6 number of people, and 2 were fatally injured, while 4 are in the hospital receiving treatment.
Department of Development Control, FCTA, said the developer had been warned to stop work on the structure due to observed irregularities.
My colleagues here, who is responsible for monitoring development on this site, actually confirmed to me that they had directed the work to be stopped until necessary things are done. Because when you are doing this kind of activity, you need to shore it up, retain the wall. We didn't know that the work had resumed until when this thing happened this morning.
As the authorities seal off the site, they say investigations will be conducted to determine further actions on the developer. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Roads are the arteries that move and link people, goods and services. For a while now, the Akure-Ado-Ekiti Road has not been doing that effectively for a while, like I said. Good news is the story is about to change with the award of contract for reconstruction of the road. You can take this information to the bank, as it is coming from no other than the Minister of State for Transportation, who reassures the people of Ondo and Ekiti State that the re-awarded contract will commence any moment from now. Oluwakemi Aina has the report.
The contract for the reconstruction of Akure-Ado-Ekiti Road project was awarded in the year 2020 and flagged off in 2021. The project was said to have faced logistics and funding challenges, just as motorists and commuters daily experience hardship on the road, which has almost become a death trap.
You can see as I'm coming now, as the vehicle jumping into pothole there, all this bomber is pieces. So I need to park and make sure that I fix this back again.
When you book time that you're going to somewhere at a particular time, you won't be able to get there because of the hold up and the bad road.
Minister of State for Transportation, Prince Ademola Adegoroye, explained that the federal government has already asked the 2 new contractors to mobilize to sites.
We will flag up the road before the expiration of this tenure by the grace of Almighty God. If the road is good, the pains that our people go through will be a thing of the past. The unnecessary expenditure our people have had to incur, all that will be a thing of the past.
The reconstruction, which will soon be flagged off, is to start simultaneously from Akure and Ado-Ekiti. In Akure, Oluwakemi Aina, NTA News.
Still talking road infrastructure, Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria Kano Road reconstruction project is once again on the news for both the good and the not so good revelations. Good because Section 2 of the project will be completed as early as next week, and not too good because, contrary to the wish of both the government and the motoring public, Phase 1 of the project will be left over for the next government. Our Salisu in Kano takes an extra look at the unabating challenges that prolonged the lifespan of the project beyond the 3 years hitherto envisaged.
The 375-kilometer Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria Kano Road reconstruction commenced in June 2018 with an initial completion deadline of 36 months. The work has been paced into 3 zones of Abuja-Kaduna, Kaduna-Zaria and Zaria-Kano to hasten its completion. The 137-kilometer Zaria-Kano Road, which is Section 3 of the project, has reached advanced level of completion. Chief of Staff to the President Ibrahim Gambari, while on an inspection visit to the project site, gave assurance that Section 2 will be completed next week and Section 3 will also be ready for commissioning before the end of the Buhari administration.
I want to really commend Mr. President for making resources available so that this kind of projects progress can be made, and also, of course, the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, the MD is here. The kind of collaboration is very much welcome.
Section 1 is the one that will continue beyond the tenure of this administration, and that has been difficult to do because of many reasons.
The project, which is a gateway to the northwestern state, is upon completion expected to ease movement of people and goods, improve security situation, and boost the economic activities of the people. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
Rail travel has always been an exciting experience to both adults and children. The development of rail transportation in Nigeria has also been an interesting story. By 2016, Nigeria reached a new high in rail transportation with the introduction of the standard gauge line on the Abuja-Kaduna route, which became the preferred mode of transportation. Sad news is that the corridor is becoming a shadow of itself with low patronage daily. In this special report, Oyinaya Kalu Oka takes us on a ride to the sad tale of Nigeria's first standard gauge railway line.
Please, I'm not ready to talk.
One of the disappointed passengers heading back home after unsuccessful attempts to get a train ticket from the mobile apps or the train station in Idu.
Since yesterday in the night, I have been trying to board the ticket. The ticket is not available, and as I did now at this station, the ticket is still not available, and there are plenty of people that didn't get the ticket.
The once bubbling Idu station is now scanty with few passengers. Same with Kubwa and Rigasa station in Kaduna, as getting a ticket is now likened to a camel passing through the eye of a needle.
On Wednesday when I was coming, the train was not filled up.
from Kaduna. There are various stages NIMC is going. Now we have a visual name.
From 2016 to 2021, despite the first train attack, services have been commendable in terms of efficiency and maintenance. But in 2022, after the second train attacks, till date, it has been one issue to another, ranging from derailment, vandalism, accident, inefficiency, and poor maintenance.
A lot of Nigeria are not seeing that fear. So we are pleading with the government if they can put more effort to monitor the rail line.
Passengers are boarding for the 9:30 train, which is leaving Abuja to Kaduna for the day. By 3 p.m., another train will leave Regasa in Kaduna down to Abuja. It is 2 trips per day since February this year. Train from Abuja to Kaduna and train from Kaduna to Abuja daily is now taking 3 hours instead of the usual 2 hours movements. The digital changeover switch is not functioning and the railway staff has to carry out a manual changeover. This and lack of replacement of vandalized clips, experts say, are some of the reasons for the train delay.
We had an incident at Buba where the point was tampered with and it led to derailment. This also affected the locomotive and some coaches. But as we speak today, both the 2 train sets have been fixed. Before the second week of May, I think, move up to 4 return trips.
Security is another challenge. One of the security escorts on the train, whose identity will not be disclosed and his voice distorted, spoke to NTA News about lack of payment of allowances.
And February and March, they are owing us and they have not paid us. And we are endangering our life inside the train to secure lives and property.
It's true. The allowances have not been paid because we have to earn the money to pay the allowance. So don't forget, if we don't operate, all the money we earn we use to buy diesel. The cost of diesel has gone up astronomically that if we go to earn, don't buy diesel. If the revenue we earn from our property that have been supporting us to even operate the train we are operating, there is no hiding the truth. There is no denying the truth. That's where the social find ourselves. That it is what, if not for the revenue from the property, the train would have stopped. There is no magic about that. The passenger volume has dropped.
With all this, the Jabi Motor Park is now back to business. For a railway expert, Roland Atakuba, the Nigerian rail sector needs a touch of the private sector participation.
We reform and restructure that environment. So you bring money, you bring private sector into the fray. They have to run it for profit, which means that they would need to go and find the money to put on the necessary equipment, to put on the necessary manpower to deliver the results.
Lack of maintenance culture in Nigeria has always been said to be the bane of national development. Is Nigeria's first standard gauge railway line taking same pattern? Time will certainly tell. Oyinaya Kalo Oka, NTA News.
Sure, time will certainly tell, Oyinaya. Now, on the location of Lekki Deep Sea Port and Nigeria's first indigenous petroleum refinery around Lekki Free Zone is expected to engender both industrial and commercial evolution around the corridor. Notwithstanding that these 2 industrial giants are yet to commence full operations, while activities, particularly lifting of products, have picked up in the area. Adeni Itao, however, reports that this has led to a surge in traffic quicker than anticipated.
When the Lekki Deep Sea Port was conceived, it was part of a grand plan to open an eastern corridor for evacuation of goods and services via Ekpe and Ijebu-Ode to other parts of the country in order to reduce pressure on Apapa ports. To facilitate this, the federal government, in partnership with Dangote Group, is constructing a 6-lane dual carriageway from the Deep Sea Port to Eleko Junction, while the Lagos State government is also working on sections of Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. However, the landscape around the area is already changing.
The last time I was here in January this year, these tankers were not here. Now they are here taking both sides of the road. I understand that they are on queue to get access into a petroleum plant down this corridor in order for them to load their cargo, which is refined petroleum products. Now, that is not bad in itself, but it speaks to the kind of traffic situation we are likely to have along this corridor when other industrial giants, which are already waiting in the wing, come on stream.
The trucks coming from Pinnacle, they normally park both sides, and the closing hour from the Dangote refinery and the seaport, everywhere is blocked, mostly morning and evening.
From here now, we want to go Ikeja or BI or Lekki phase 1. We are going to move from here around 4 o'clock in the night, 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. because of traffic.
The concern of this respondent may not get any lesser as, according to sources, about 2,500 tankers are projected to evacuate products from Dangote refinery per day, with the same number of container-bearing trucks expected to take cargo daily from the deep sea port when they commence full commercial operations. Until a rail line being considered for the corridor becomes a reality, the hope of residents and businesses around the free zone lies with speedy completion of this concrete cement 26.7 kilometer road.
Lagos State government is only almost completed with that. Medium term, do the rail and barges, and that will take care of it.
The traffic will not be that much because the road, they are going to expand it.
If they can put more effort and employ more workers for the road to be done easily, it will be okay for us.
The road project is just 16.5% done. From Eleko, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Away from that now to a bit on security news. Small differences arising from conflicts of interest have caused a lingering friction between the Nigeria Police High Command and the Police Service Commission. Worried by this development, the leadership of the Police Service Commission is engaging retired senior officers in Abuja to serve as think tank for the force in preferring solutions to issues surrounding security sector reforms. Francis Form has that.
This is the first time in the history of the Nigeria Police Force that retired officers of the ranks of commissioners of police and above are brought together to apply their vast experience towards a repositioning in the force for greater efficiency in maintaining law and order.
We had looked forward to this for a long time, and I'm happy that today someone has thought it worthy to invite all senior officers resident in Abuja.
They've spent so much money training all and all that. I think in other climes, retired police officers brought in to help, design better security architecture, and in sectors where they are needed, they are called upon to be functional in those areas.
The meeting was convened by the chairman of Police Service Commission, Solomon Arasi, to serve as an advisory body to both the commission and the force in ensuring a harmonious working relationship.
If they stand before a class, of young, impressionable youths, police officers, they will make more impact. One, their professional knowledge. Secondly, their experiential knowledge. All these things are things we want to bring to bear. And we also take a look to and say, what is really happening to them? We should know about their welfare. Once in a while, we come together, and if there are things we can help them sort out, we sort it out.
On the disciplinary measures meted out to erring officers and men of the force, the Commission's chairman suggested not throwing away the baby with the bath water.
I will not want an officer who is a DSP, for example, to be dismissed from the police force. I would prefer he be reduced in rank, because you've already spent some money training him. He handles firearms. So you just, dismiss him and you throw him out there again. What are you, if you're not careful? The criminal gangs will recruit him. So we are having a discussion around that area.
Arasi is optimistic that the Retired Officers Consultative Forum will serve as a platform for possible recruitment of members who may be interested in participating as resource persons in the training programs of the Commission. Francis from NTA News.
And now to religious matters. The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, has requested Muslims to look out for the new moon of Shawwal 1444 after Hijrah on Thursday, 20th of April 2023, which is equivalent to the 29th day of Ramadan 1444 after Hijrah. A statement signed by the Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Professor Sambo Wali Junaidu, says the sighting should be reported through the following numbers: 0803 715 7100, 0706 741 6900, 0806 630 3077, 0803 614 9757, 0803 596 5322, or 0803 594 5903 for onward communication to the Sultan. In Islam, most of the pillars of religion are accompanied by one sacrifice or the other. This condition is also applicable to Ramadan fast, as Muslims are expected to pay zakat al-fitr at the conclusion of the fast. Tokpa Alabi in this report takes a look at the importance of this act undertaking at the end of Ramadan.
قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى.
Ramadan fast is associated with various forms of devotions. Apart from the fastings, obligatory prayers, and other acts of worship, the month is also characterized with almsgiving. One major act required at the end of Ramadan fast is zakat al-fitr. The purpose of zakat al-fitr is to enable poor people celebrate Eid al-Fitr, the festival to break the Ramadan fast.
The main idea is to make everybody has something to eat on that very day.
We need to give a lot of charity. We need to have empathy for the less privileged.
And when it comes to difficulties of life, the biggest of them is food. Anybody that is hungry will not even listen to anything.
You used to wipe away all your sins, and it completes your Ramadan fasting.
This form of charity becomes mandatory from sunset on the last day of fasting and remains so until the beginning of Eid prayer. It is given by the head of the household for each member of the family. The measurement is 1 sa'ah or 4 mudu of grains to be given out as zakat al-fitr per person. The zakat is given from staple food items in the community, which include rice, corn, millet, beans, soybeans, and the likes. However, some scholars are of the opinion that staple foods like gari and semolina can also be given out as zakat al-fitr.
Zakat al-fitr can be paid, when the Ramadan is coming to an end, starting from like 2 days to the end of Ramadan.
So anyone given after the Eid become ordinary charity.
Islamic clerics say zakat al-fitr basically censors that the poor have food resources to celebrate Eid, thank Allah, and share the day's joy with their families. In Abuja, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
Thank you, Tokpe. To enjoy the benefits of one of the most sacred nights in the Islamic calendar, Laylatul Qadr, known as the Night of Majesty, Islamic faithful converge on Lagos to seek Allah's favor and mercy for individuals and the nation at large. Diana Ajale reports that the gathering was organized by Lutful Lahi International.
The month of Ramadan is characterized by a variety of events, from fasting, which is considered as a purification of sins and a period for physical cleansing, to Ramadan lectures presented at various locations. For the Muslim faithful, it is a month with many lessons and blessings. The most significant of it all, and a time Muslims look forward to in the holy months of Ramadan, is the Laylatul Qadr, called the Night of Majesty, as it affords them the opportunity to increase their devotion to Allah and seek His blessings and forgiveness.
The best of the days in Ramadan is the search for the Laylatul Qadr.
Because what you can't get in other months, you will get in a day.
We always take the opportunity of the night to pray for ourselves, for our family, for the nation.
Now, what are the benefits associated with the holy months of Ramadan, particularly the night of Majesty?
It brings you closeness to Almighty Allah.
All our prayers that we've been offering during the month of Ramadan, this special night is a night that we all look forward to.
Whatever you know that is not good to be doing, that you stop in this Ramadan, you don't need to continue it after Ramadan.
Praying that Almighty Allah will help us achieve a issue-free transition and a peaceful nation.
Observed in the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan, it is believed that worshipping Allah on Laylatul Qadr is more rewarded than doing so for 1,000 months. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government has declared Friday 21st and Monday 24th April 2023 as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration. In a statement, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, congratulates all Muslims for witnessing the holy month of Ramadan, calling on all to imbibe and practice the virtues of kindness, love, tolerance, peace, self-denial, sacrifice and good neighborliness, as exemplified by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Aregbesola assures that President Muhammad Buhari is fully committed to peaceful transition of government following successful elections, assuring government's commitment to the provision of security for the life and property of every citizen and foreigner. The minister wishes all Muslims a happy Eid al-Fitr celebration and prays for the peace, blessings and favors of Allah for the country. And in its quest to curb road crashes and unnecessary traffic gridlocks on the highways, the Federal Road Safety Corps has mobilized logistics and personnel for the 2023 Eid al-Fitr celebration. This is to enhance visibility and guarantees safe travels for all road users before, during and after the celebration in Nigeria, which has been scheduled to commence from 20th April to terminate on the 25th of April 2023. A statement from the Commission indicates that the Corps Marshal, Dauda Alibiu, has deployed 750 patrol vehicles, 120 ambulances, 25 tow trucks and more than 200 bikes to be on the road during the special operation. The FRSC says motorists must endeavor to avoid traffic violations and remain conscious of their safety to avoid arrests and prosecution by members of the Corps. The Corps also advised motorists not to fall prey to avoidable road crashes. The FRSC says operational equipment such as radar guns, breathalyzer to put a check on drunk driving and other operational logistics materials have been put in place to keep the roads safe for all users. The Ibrahim family of Kadu, Abuja, have appealed to the public and anyone with useful information on the whereabouts of Master Mohammed Mubin to please reach out to the family or the police. Mohammed Mubin was 3 years old when he was taken away by unknown persons in front of his home on the 14th of April 2022 at about 1 p.m. All efforts to locate him since then have proved abortive. Aisha Ibrahim, his mother, has again appealed to Nigerians who may identify the victim to provide relevant information which could lead him to being reunited with his family. Let's take a breather now. In the next segment, a key village is reopened after 5 years, and our man Musa will be on the beat to help you mind your business. Stay with us.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going. until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Aisha, how do you holler for me for phone? I go pay you. Aisha, wait for somebody to call me.
So much for staying. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has summoned the Adamawa State Commandant, Mohammed Bello, to the national headquarters in response to the just concluded Adamawa governorship election. In a statement, the Commandant General, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, directed him to immediately hand over affairs of the command to his immediate subordinates and to allow him explain role he played in the exercise. The Corps in the statement emphasized that NSCDC is a non-partisan, non-political organization that will not tolerate the involvement of personnel or any of its formation in political controversies, as widely alleged. It has been 5 years of drama, accusations and counter-accusations since the Abuja Arts and Crafts Village was shut down due to illegal activities at the premises. Well, after all the intrigues, there is cheery news as the National Council for Arts and Culture is set to reopen the now modernized and organized center with befitting facilities to the public in the next 2 weeks. Oyenayekalu Oka has the report.
It is strategically located at the center of Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. The Abuja Arts and Craft Village was established in 2003 for the exhibition of artworks during the Commonwealth meeting. In 2018, the village was shut down by the National Council for Arts and Culture due to some illegal activities.
No more parking stolen cars, no more selling of drugs. You know, hard drugs were sold here.
Within this period, despite protests and distractions by the artists, the council concentrated in renovating, modernizing, and putting up a standard organized cultural center that will promote the country's rich cultural works, generate revenue, and create employment.
We're going to provide toilet facility here. We're going to provide a business center, a pharmacy, a restaurant. I mean, so many activities will be going on here. And then I'm coming up with the first birthday shop. It's not common. It's first of its kind. And by the first 6 months, we are looking at turning it to a night market.
With more than 200 renovated shops with a mix of cultural and modern facilities, the once aggrieved artists are hopeful and excited for a new and better opportunities.
And it's a good thing that he is actually concentrating in promoting the arts and then the cultures of Nigeria's people. So what he has done is to say that Nigeria will actually be competing with most African countries that have taken art tourism to their own levels that they are today. So the structure, everything here actually appeals for that.
The cultural center is expected to be reopened in 2 weeks. Oyenayekalu Oka, NTA News.
That's your cherry one there, Ina. Now it's time for us to do business with Musa Abubakar. Musa Abubakar, it's over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, has shared a total sum of 714.629 billion naira March 2023 Federation account revenue to the federal government, states and local government councils. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of the Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting for April 2023. The communique stated that from the total distributable revenue of 714.629 billion naira, the federal government received 276.141 billion naira. The state governments received 232.129 billion naira, and the local government councils received 171.257 billion naira. A total sum of 35.102 billion naira was shared to the relevant states as 13% derivation revenue. The 714.629 billion naira total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 497.448 billion naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 202.693 billion naira, and electronic money transfer levy of 14.488 billion naira. Now, the attention of the Debt Management Office, DMO, has been drawn to a publication by some media houses claiming that Nigeria has defaulted in debt repayment to China, for which its claim penalty stand at 41.31 billion naira. The public is advised to ignore the publication as it is false. A closer look at the media publication shows that the body of the publication is completely detached from the headline, which gives the impression that the publishers of the report may have set out to mislead the public. The public is assured that Nigeria is fully committed to honoring its debt obligations and has not defaulted on any of its debt service obligations. The media report should therefore be disregarded. It's another positive close for the equities market as investors gained 17.75 billion naira. The all-share index advanced by 0.08% to close at 51,178.41 points as equity capitalization increased to 27.8 trillion naira. A sum of 1.27 billion securities worth 3.9 billion naira were traded in 3,505 deals. Transcorp, Fidelity Bank and Zenith Bank dominated the activity chart at the end of the session. Well, that's a quick look at business news. News Extra continues after the break.
Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have informed, educated, and entertained us. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
From generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized.
Come May 17th this year, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather at a hotel and suites for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and excellence in the broadcast media. Voting starts on 20th April and ends on 4th May 2023. Visit www.tnbawards.ng to vote now. They've served and they're still serving. It's time we say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, Bonn.
With gratitude to God for a life well spent, we announce the passing on to glory of Baba Minti Ruangbusa, also known as Baba Tsab, which occurred on the 14th of April 2023. He was aged 90 years. Burial arrangement, Thursday, 20th April 2023. Service of songs at Equa Church Alheri beside Church of God Mission Alheri, Jos, Plateau State. Time 4 p.m. Friday, 21st April 2023. Burial service. Venue, Equa Bishara 2, opposite Jankwano Hospital, Jos. Time 8 a.m. Final interment follows immediately afterwards at his residence in Utan Lane, Jos, Plateau State. Carry on, Baba, till we meet again.
You're welcome back. An accurate population figure is a veritable tool for efficient planning, policy interventions in governance and monitoring of developmental goals. That is why Nigeria will be counting its citizens in a short while. Hussein Musa reports on this headcount and its significance to the socio-economic development of the country.
Population census for accurate and reliable data that comprises demographic, social, and economic characteristics, as well as indicators such as age, gender, education, among others, is vital in determining the needs of different segments of inhabitants of a country.
A nation needs to know the number of people in its territory, meaning its citizens. So census affords you the opportunity to have a data for national development.
Thus, the reason Nigeria is set for yet another census, which is expected to be digitized for accuracy and utmost benefits.
Preparations for it started in 2014 with the EAD, which is Enumeration Area Demarcation. is a process whereby the country has been split into manageable sizes for ease of counting.
The 2023 census, which is also going to be that of population and housing, experts say is long overdue for reliable and detailed data on the size, structure, distribution of Nigeria's population.
Statistics serve as a guide to policymakers.
It is hoped that the 2023 census will present an accurate data to aid effective planning and guarantee socio-economic advancement for the nation. Imina Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
As plans are in top gear for the 2023 census exercise, the need for a holistic headcount that would impact positively on national planning and lives of the citizens have been stressed. These were some of the views of some Owerri residents when Chuma Nwakwere sought their views on how prepared they are for the 2023 National Population Census exercise.
Many have expressed optimism and concern on the workability of the 2023 census exercise. This concern has become of even greater significance in the face of the dynamism of modern-day socio-economic planning, both at the macro and micro levels. From the foregoing, therefore, the need for an accurate, reliable, and acceptable population census data in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized.
The government needs these numbers to make plans for whatever thing the government wants to do as to allocation of resources and all that. So it's very, very important.
Except they will marshal out the way to reach to these people, because there's no people living in the community because of insecurity.
The DG now has a new digital system they have come up with.
Professor Obannabwe is the Honorable Federal Commissioner representing Imo State in the National Population Commission.
We have done so much, bearing in mind that it is a technologically based census, it's digital. We have procured the necessary equipment, and we have trained our staff from national to zonal to state. We are now going to local government.
According to statistical data, Nigeria's population is currently estimated to be about 200 million and is projected to hit 264 million by 2030, crossing the 300 million thresholds around 2036. What is more, experts say a 3% annual population growth rate, which is higher than the GDP growth rate, is a time bomb that could detonate anytime. Experts therefore affirm that the 2023 census exercise is not only apt, but expedient for proper data and proper planning for growth and development of the nation. Chuma Nwakwere, NTA News.
Oh, thank you so much, Chuma. I actually can't wait to be counted, I tell you. Well, in the concluding segment of the news, we have a spot for sports.
When life gets busy, you can always rely on GoTV to make things a little easier. Upgrade to the next package and we'll boost you to a higher package for free. GoTV. Love it.
My name is Abimbola Majokudumonokoya and I'm from Abeokuta, Ogun State. Actually, I just got here coming from United States as a frequent flyer into Nigeria. I've never been to this airport. I've kind of heard about it, but I've never seen it. So when I came out from the airport, I was kind of disoriented a little bit, like what's going on here?
I'm Comrade Derigo Ahidiame. I'm from Edo State, Nigeria. I'm coming from a trip. I've passed through so many African countries before getting to this place. When I saw Nigeria airport, I marveled.
So I just want to commend the work that's been done here. It's a beautiful place. I mean, I made quite some videos and pictures, unlike the other airports.
Kudos to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari.
And I give it up to Buhari for giving us this beautiful airport. I hope the maintenance culture kicks in.
Mommy, it is time for us to leave this place.
One of your earrings is missing.
No one will find it.
I'm not willing to take that chance.
Have a big plan, mommy.
What do you want?
I want a senior position at Dubai.
If anything happens to me, go through the content of this envelope and check every single thing.
It's done. No one will ever find out the truth.
To sporting news now. Rivers United draw Ayimba International of Aba in Federation Cup. Ayodiji Makinde has this and much more on Sports Update.
A week-long FIVB Level 1 coaching course ended in Abuja with volleyball coaches in the country exposed to latest on- and off-court techniques as they continue to build capacity towards international recognition.
FIVB sent me here for volleyball. That is it. So I saw many good, talented coaches in this coaching course. So I need everyone to support them.
It's our desire before the international coach will go back in August, we should hold level 2.
Elsewhere, the IBB International Golf and Country Club Captains Cup tournament is underway with over 500 golfers in contention for honors at the week-long event. In the one-day professional tournament played on Wednesday, Kamalu Baku carded a 4-under-par 68 for a one-shot victory over Donatus Obadofin, and Elisha Marcus finished third with a 70.
A tradition towards the end of every tenure, we celebrate the stewardship of the captain by organizing the tournaments in golf and lawn tennis for our caddies, the staff and members of the club.
Tournament proper for members would start off on Thursday. As you're aware, Nigeria and IBB Golf and Country Club is the first club that changed to WHS handicapping system. So we're playing the events over 3 days based on handicap.
Rivers United versus Ayimba fixture headlined the round of 64 draw of the 2023 ITO FA Cup conducted in Abuja as 74 teams kick off the championship from April 26 to May 23.
You are going to see a different competition with discipline and adhering by the rules of our Federation Cup.
In the women's category, FC Robo are drawn against Immaculate FC, while Niger Rattles are up against Adamawa Queens in the round of 32. With Sports Update, Ayodiji Makinde, NTA News.
Wife of the President-elect, Oluremi Tinubu, has commiserated with the family of late Toyin Badmus and the Iyaloja of Abuja, urging their family to take solace in God as the giver and taker of life. Mrs. Tinubu, who was represented by the APC National Woman Leader, Betta Edu, and the DG National Women's Center, Asabevilita Bashir, described her demise as a huge loss to the All Progressives Congress family and the nation.
She was a powerful APC women mobilizer. She was also a big sister, a mother, a really, really diligent woman. She has worked so hard for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his entire campaign process. We're really saddened by the fact that we get to victory and she's not there to enjoy this victory.
She was on the campaign trail of Tinubu Fatima our presidential candidates, and she contributed so much for the success of the president-elect. We enjoyed her company, we enjoyed her experience. She taught us so many things.
Lord, those of us she left behind is a lesson for each and every one of us as our leader.
Well, late Toyin Badmus died on Sunday at the age of 62. And on that note, we conclude News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. But before we go, remember that the National Population Census is 14 days to go. You count, so please be counted. I am Fatima Umar Buba. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.